Okay, this is Dr. Della Welch again. We're continuing our discussion about Kant. By way of review, remember Kant's theory is a normative theory. It's also called deontological, and it's absolute, without exception, and is considered a priori, a priori. This means it's derived from reason alone, such as 2 + 2 = 4, not from experience or observation. A basic rule of Kant is that we are all autonomous moral agents. We are self-ruled. We set our own rules. We have that free choice and free reason, rather than being ruled by others. Another important concept is goodwill. And he says the only good thing, without exception, is the goodwill. A person of goodwill is motivated by duty alone. They are not motivated by self-interest, such as Anne, A-Y-N, Rand is, by happiness, such as Mill and utilitarianism, or feelings. The goodwill is an internal value. It's good in and of itself, not as a means to something else. The consequences do not matter. When thinking of duty, Kant would say, we must follow our duty. We set the rule. It is not about what we want to do or what would lead to the best consequences. Only the action which springs from duty is the best action. We cannot do an action such as helping a homeless person just because it's pleasurable. The motive has to be because I have to help the homeless person because it's my duty. You have the duty to do the right thing. Think of the principle of maxim, M-A-X-I-M. A maxim is a rule of conduct or moral principle, such as keep your promises, do not lie, do not steal, and these are absolute rules. Now, he also talked about the hypothetical imperative. These are not moral commands, and they only apply if you want to achieve a goal. They always begin with the word if. If I want to lose weight, I must join a gym. Unlike the categorical imperative, which applies to us unconditionally, without exception, you're just referring to a goal or a desire that you might have. Now, when we talk more about the categorical imperative, we can say that our duty comes from this categorical imperative because it applies to us universally. I always say across all categories, the rule is absolute and universal. These are moral commands that we must follow, and we must use them to find the morality of an action, according to Kant. When you speak of a universal law, you must say, what if everyone in the world would break the rule? What kind of world would we have? Is that acceptable? No. So the categorical imperative is the first rule of Kant. And then going to the second rule, we must not treat people as a means to an end, but as an end in themselves. We must respect others. For example, let's say that I really love Big Mac hamburgers. And so I go into McDonald's and I see the waitress there and I order my Big Mac. I tell them I'm having a Big Mac attack. And I say to her very rudely, get that Big Mac out to me right now. I'm starving to death. Well, that's not being very respectful of her. That's treating her as a means to an end of getting my hamburger and not as an end in herself where I treat her nicely.